Hey guys, Anna here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we are in the world of San Sequoia and we are in that upper left hand corner on that kind of seaside lot that you would have seen earlier in the month. I built another kind of modern home on this particular lot. That was a 3x1. This is a 2x1 modern home, and it kind of has a similar vibe to that particular build that I built back in the earlier part of the month, where it's that very rectangle kind of sleek design. I just really like it, and I love this particular lot because of the lighting. I feel that it gets really good lighting, and it definitely needed a horizontal lot. I think I went through Manage Worlds and went through so many different worlds to find out which particular lot that I liked that best suited this particular build. But yes, anyway, so this particular build, as I mentioned, it's a 2x1. It is more of a modern kind of minimalistic home. I really love the floor plan of this. This is a floor plan that I saw on Pinterest, and I really like the simplicity of it. You walk in and it's, you have your kitchen at the front, and then you have a open living and dining, which is separated from the kitchen, which is fine, which again, very similar to the modern home we built at the start of the month. And then you have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom that come off like a central hallway, which is also the entry. So it's all very all very close together. And this is the particular build that gameplay would be very easy to play in. I have designed this home for maybe a couple and a child sim. It is a female child sim, but again, you can change it all around. This build is available on a Sims 4 gallery. My gallery ID is Antoinette.44. Is in the description below if you need. And yes, we are doing the windows, and we have pretty much, this is our structure. So this is pretty much the exterior done. There's very little that needs to be added to this. I love the color scheme. The paneling, that dark chocolate colored paneling that comes from the Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack, paired that with a lot of eco lifestyle, the windows, but I also that big kind of front window, that kind of focal piece to the front of the facade, you could say, that is actually from the Desert Luxe kit. I use a little bit of that kit in this. I use the curtains from that kit and obviously that window. I've gone in with my favorite new wooden flooring, which comes from Businesses and Hobbies, and I've just mapped out the floor plan. So as I said, you walk in, you have that central kind of landing space, that kind of hallway, and that has the doors to pretty much every room in the entire house. So this, and I've used the really tall glass doors that came with Businesses and Hobbies to give it that kind of, to run with that modern theme. So I really like that. We are currently just doing the kitchen, so I'm laying it out. So this is like a very rectangle shaped kitchen, and this is exactly how it was in the Pinterest photo that I saw that I really liked. So I've emulated that here. I've also put in a small kind of breakfast table, which you'll see shortly. I've also, the other thing that this particular build uses a lot of is the sleek bathroom kit, which is a CC Creator kit that was released back in April. That's obviously when I built this particular build last month. So I use a lot of those items. The entire bathroom utilizes that kit, and I really have some standout pieces from that kit. I really enjoy the bath mat specifically, so I feel like I'm going to be using it a lot in the kitchens that I decorate. I just feel that it's it's a really good size mat. And this new plant that comes in with like that kind of rattan style, it's, I guess, pot. I guess that it's just a really lovely fig tree, I think it is. Olive tree. No, it's an olive tree, sorry. All right, so we are just doing the wallpaper, and I tend to do this with my builds. I tend to put wallpaper in all the bedrooms first and kind of map out what I'm feeling. And then I, use the rest of the house. So the plain white and beige wallpaper that I've used is from Lovestruck. And then all of the other wallpaper is from Growing Together for the tiling, and the patterned wallpaper. And obviously that wooden panelled wallpaper comes from Business and Hobby. And yeah, and that's basically the house. It's a very simplistic build today, but I like that. And this definitely is something I would play in. I think it's a perfect size for that. And this is our biggest room of the house. So this is the main living room. So you've got a dining table there, and then you've got just like a standard living room. I use a lot of the refined living room kit in here. A lot of kits in this particular build. So potentially if you download this and you don't have a lot of the newer stuff, you may not have a furnished house, but you'll have the shell. And I think it's really lovely. I've used a lot of neutral colors in this particular build, a lot of the wood tones, and just kept it very simple. Apologize if you can hear a dog barking. There is probably a bird that has flown past my window, and my puppy is excited. All right, so as mentioned previously, these are the curtains that come from Desert Luxe Kit. I had this big patch of wall in this space, and I decided to put a big painting. We do have some larger paintings in this particular game that just fit that space really nicely. I put in an easel, just wanting to put in a bit more skill building. I didn't want to over decorate it. I wanted to have a very minimalistic type feel to this particular home. And yeah, I've used some contrasting colored cushions. I've put in some pink. That's pulling from the pink in the pot plant that's on the dining table, which is from the Blooming Rooms kit. It's one of my favorite plants in the game. I think it's a good size plant. And I think that that's also when you've got tables and stuff, that you have to make sure the objects you put on the table, that they scale well. That was a good size plant for that. All right, so we are in the main entranceway. This mirror comes from that sleek bathroom kit. I kind of like it. It's probably my least favorite asset from that kit. I think that, I don't know if it actually goes with the rest of the bathroom kit. I kind of think that some of the more gold or metal toned mirrors that come from Growing Together actually suit better. Yeah. All right, we're just finalizing the kitchen. So I do, as you can see, there is a door that leads out to the outside part shortly when we do the exterior. We do change that. I just make that a window instead, and just make those sliding doors from the living room the only access to the outside. So we do change that slightly. I've just added some clutter pieces. You've got a kettle. I changed the dining table, the breakfast table, to make it smaller. Just use some very basic chairs. I really struggled with chairs. I didn't want to use the same ones throughout the whole house, but I wanted them to be simplistic. And then I have gone with the theme of using that wood paneling as like an accent wall. It's used heavily throughout the house. It's not the same tone or shade as the exterior, which I kind of like. I don't think it's bad. I've gone in with the tile that comes with the sleek bathroom kit in the kitchen in kind of a whitish tone. I was going to do the green because it's the same green as the mat, but it just seemed to be a little bit conflicting. Okay, so we are starting the landscaping. So we are outside, and I'm just kind of playing around with this eco lifestyle kind of fencing object. I really liked it. I thought it would be a great kind of object to use to create like a courtyard. And of course it flows from the living room. Like in a lot of my builds, this is a very simple layout, but it works. I like it. I just had to put my plant back in. I have obviously sized this up in the living room, but I just think it looks so nice in a corner with a lot of light. It reminds me of like a very Scandinavian style. I feel like you see it in like yoga studios. You see that kind of plant in the corner is the kind of vibe that it gives, and I really like that asset. Just gone in with the black just because I wanted to pull a little bit more black into the exterior. I've used it obviously in the platform roof, so that front part is a platform as opposed to the roofing pieces. I've gone in with the pathing from Desert Luxe, so I have used a little bit more of that kit. And I'm just mapping out where I want path versus where I want greenery and plants. And then I'm just starting with the shrubs. I do end up deleting all these shrubs and putting my favorite flowers, which are these daisies. And I've used the debug menu for this particular build, and the shade of green is much nicer. And I've just kept it very simple as normal. I've used my favorite cypress trees that are in the debug menu. I could have used palms because that's very much what's surrounding this particular build are the palm trees, but I decided to go with these cypress trees. This particular build could be placed very easily in Newcrest or Willow Creek, maybe Oasis Springs potentially, kinda. It does have a little bit of a mid-century vibe about it. I think that that kind of half gabled roof being positioned that way kind of gives it a little bit more dimension and kind of pizzazz to the build, which a mid-century generally does have. But yeah, I don't know, I kind of like it. It's definitely modern. And in the back we've just gone in with some ferns. And I decided to put a hot tub in this far corner, and then just some seating. These couches come from Perfect Patio stuff pack. We put in a grill, and I think we use the umbrella table that comes with the Perfect Patio stuff. Just some basic chairs, and that's basically it for the exterior kind of like outdoor section. We are just putting in the final touches, so we're going in with our stairs, I think a mailbox, and a trash can, I believe. Yep. I got a debug car, just kind of adds to it. I've used the limestone, wow, pathing on the platform roof. I like the texture of it. All right, we're back inside. We're just going to do the final touches to this living area, and then I believe we're moving in to the bedrooms. So as mentioned, you have a master's bedroom and you have a child's, like a female child's room, which is, I've used some new items that came with a base game update that we got back in April, and it's just a really fun, colourful room. I really like it. This is like pretty much an identical room to the room I built when I first got the Businesses and Hobbies pack. I use that swatch of the bed. It's very kind of neutral but warm in here. I've got a vanity. I don't normally put vanities in my rooms, but this was a larger master bedroom, so I decided to include it. I have put a desk with a computer because I haven't got a study in this particular build. I'm sure I could have put a single tile desk somewhere and been able to put a computer, but I've just decided to just include it in the bedroom here. And as I mentioned, the vanity. I absolutely adore that little tray that has the claw clip and the hairbrush in it. I think it's such a universal item that can be used outside of bathrooms, so that, you know, that asset from the Sleek bathroom kit might actually be one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Beside the tile, I really like that particular piece. And then when we move into the bathroom, other standout items like the paneling and the shower and the bath itself, we'll go through then. So yeah, as you can see, very basic. I've just gotten, you know, a seating place. I've got some photographs. I really loved this rug. So it had that same brown tone as the pillows that come on the bed. And this is actually from For Rent, and it had a pattern on it. And I thought that that was really nice because when you've got a plain bed spread, it's nice to have a bit of pattern in the room, and it was of the same tone. We've got that decorative hamper, which is also from the Sleek Bathroom Kit, which I kind of like, and I think it's very universal. Sorry, I think it's very useful because you can add plants in it and you can change the decoration. All right, we are in the final bedroom of the house, which is the child's room. As mentioned, I have used that bed that came with that base game update. I've also used that kind of shelving piece as well. We've gone in with the Growing Together bed, not bed, desk, because of the purple shade. So I really wanted to pull a lot of purple in this particular room, obviously to pull from that really lovely wallpaper that we got with Businesses and Hobbies. I think a lot of the newer content is really coming out with a lot of purple swatches, and I'm really excited about that. But there was also a lot of pink and orange in this particular room, and it's just really fun. It just reminds me a little bit of ice cream. I don't know. That's kind of like summer. It's a very summery room. It's a very playful room, and I think that Love Struck rug was perfect for that space. All right, we are moving into what is the final room of the house, which, as I mentioned, is that bathroom. Now, this is a large-ish bathroom in comparison to what I would normally build, but again, I wanted to really utilize this kit, and I started with the shower and that glass kind of divider piece. I just really like it. I think that it's so nice, that kind of fluted pattern. We've obviously got the bathtub and the toilet and then the sink. And then I do put in some shelving because I wanted to use that new plant. I have found that particular plant does not snap to some shelving. It snaps really well to that particular shelf, but not all shelving. So I do still have to use the 9 key to raise that up. But all in all, I think it's a lovely space. Alrighty, just adding some final touches and we are live in game. Alright, so for the tour, so we head through the entrance. You have that central entrance that, as I said, has all of the doors to the entire house. You then move into the kitchen, which is really lovely. You've got that backsplash from the Sleek Bathroom Kit, as mentioned. I did forget a bin, so we are going to quickly add in a bin into this particular space. And then we are going to move into the living room. Neutral, warm, cozy, skill building, really simple in there. You have that bathroom that we just spoke about. You then go into the master bedroom, into the child's room, really summery and fun. And then lastly, we head back out through those sliding doors to the exterior. You have your hot tub, you have your grill, entertainment area, seating, and that is it. And that is the build today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.